like connections with you in your mind, that you read this thing from here and it was like this, and that picture and those things are in your mind, so that will be really helpful. So so okay. Okay, so the key points that we will cover in this, that was mentioned by Fahad as well, like the strategies that we will be applying for NAVLE, and the tips and tricks for the question handling, and the procedure definitely for BCSE and those things, and how we can definitely, this is a another like thing, how we can practically like do the practice stuff regarding the NAVLE things. So these are basically the same things for me, like if I am like looking at a broader picture, but let's explore this together. So basically, a North American veterinary licensing exam. It states like NAVLE, and this is like a requirement to practice in USA and Canada. So this territory is called as North America. So until and unless you have like NAVLE, you can go for any practice. Otherwise, you can't have any practice. You can't inject. You can't pretend like to be veterinarian, practicing veterinarian either. You can go for another things. So DVM is not the only thing. You have to pass the NAVLE. Even the Americans, they after their graduation and their last years, they are going to start the prep for NAVLE, and then they have to pass, and then they will be pursuing their careers. So in the same way, they want us to go through all this procedure. uh, So basically, NAVLE is offered. It's like a computer-based test, and it's offered by different prometric centers. So this is like a very basic question from many people, that either we can give NAVLE in our countries, or either we have to like travel to USA or Canada or somewhere. So this is like really a test that you can pass in your own country. You just have to find the prometric centers that are basically conducting the exams. That can be different exam, either they are related to English, or they are related to different languages, or different kind of things. So they are like offering these exams as well. So NAVLE is basically, they are now creating the third window as well. Before this, they were having, there were like two windows. So now they will be increasing that thing. So that's a good thing as well, because you can repeat, or you have multiple options. You can like, for example, you are not good at your preparation and you wanna go for the next window, so it will be good. Otherwise, like, you have to wait for another maybe year or maybe 6 months to appear in all these things. So NAVLE has basically 360 clinically relevant questions. This thing is very, very important to know about the people who are coming for the NAVLE, that these MCQs will be clinically oriented. They will not be like theoretical or something like this. So there are two types of schools. If we will see, they are like accredited and non-accredited. So accredited school means like they are from USA, Canada, Australia, because people are coming here in USA from different countries, from Australia and those guys, and they are just passing the state exams, or they are just already past NAVLE and those things, and they can practice it here easily. So for us, we have to, we are non-accredited AVMA. Uh, schools, so we have to go through a different procedure. We have to go through avma things in a way, like we have to follow the ecfvg, and then we can be eligible to appear in NAVLE. So I will say like I am like an average student. So I will start my journey and I will let you know about the major hurdles and difficulties that I felt and expenses and these things as well in a brief way. And the job management stuff I will be discussing it in a later way. And in the meantime, I will be also exploring the things like how we can apply and how we can do all the stuff. So this is a kind of my journey. It's an example for like anyone who is going through all the procedure. So the basic thing is like the requirement stuff. I will say the first thing that you need to have is really hard work. So it's not a like easy stuff, I will say. Some people, they are always like asking like, is it easy? Because people likes easy things, I don't know why, but it's not easy. So it's really hard stuff. You have to really work. Nobody can pass if I will say like they will not be studying and they are not working hard and they are just dreaming like we can pass it easily. It's not that kind of exam. So you should avoid, like rather than you are spending your a lot of money and you're just wasting that money. And the second thing is pure dedication, and you should be like it should be like I am not like using those words, like it should be like a matter of death or life something, because most of us, we need a lot of motivation, a lot of dedication in these things so that we can drive from our passion. Like you should know like what you gonna do after NAVLE and why you are doing these things like NAVLE, PCSE and all those things, because you will be feeling very low in the exam prep and all those things. So that motivation will really drive you. For example, uh, like the thing is you wanna go for the NAVLE, and you should have like aim, like I will be doing this NAVLE and then I will be going for the small animal practice. I will be establishing my own clinic, or I will be joining a great clinic in America or Canada, and then you can like make a complete map in your mind. I will be going for the CPE, and then I will be earning maybe a lot of money, and I will be building a big house. I will be having a big, for example, like I'm just giving an example, and I will be very passionate, and I will be a great vet as well. I will be like really, I bet you guys, when you will be going through all this procedure, especially people who are coming from Indo Park, they are feeling really better when they are going through all these procedures, because we have some caliber in our universities and schools that we really don't know, like how they are teaching us and what kind of material they are teaching us. We don't have a faith on them. When you will be going through all these things and all this journey, you will be feeling, oh wow, this was taught by my teacher, so I am really proud of him, and I really love my school. So some of the things that you really like don't have an idea, that are really important and that are really like a daily basis things in these institutes, because they have a lot of facilities and a lot of things that you can really teach, or you can really tell the institutes or schools that you should like have to improve these things, and you can tell or share it with your juniors so they can really work on those things. So like this is main thing, like you should have a dedication and you should have really a big motive, because otherwise you're gonna lose this thing. Because I bet you guys, like it will be a journey that will be really a test for you, because not only the test that is important, but the journey is also important. And for me, I think so the journey, like you are having like for example a year or a year and a half, that you need a persistence, hard work, and that really demands a consistency. So that can only be derived from a good great motive and your dedication. So you have to work on your dedication before you start all this thing. And the other thing is nerves. So really, like, you should have a nerves of steel, really, I will say. Or like, if somebody is not having those things, and if someone is emotional and someone is having those kind of things, like, so they have to work on their skills, and they have to work on their nerves as well, because you need to be very strong mentally, I will say. But I'm not saying like you should get some classes from somewhere to be very that kind of guy. So I will say, like, during the preparation, like, attach yourself to something, some kind of activities, or like, you can go for the spiritual stuff, so you can build a great, like, nerves, so because they are very very important. Your faith is very important in this thing. So you have to, like, really work on your nerves, because when you are sitting in the exam, and then you are like having, because this exam is not gonna be smooth, I bet you guys, because this is like a big exam, and you will be like feeling very very low at certain time. And then in the exam, I'm just talking about, in and when you will be like, uh, you will be thinking the answers are wrong, and those things, maybe you have like answered like 10 or 15 or 20 questions wrong. I have seen many of my friends, many of my juniors or seniors, they have this kind of thing. They say, like, for example, we were going through, and there was a very difficult questions, like, maybe you can have a bad section, I will say, but they had. So from that thing, if you want to come out, really, you need to have some nerves, because the thing is, you need to just pass the exam. So you have to tell yourself, for example, if I'm like answering the questions in a not a good way, and I'm like, just my mind is not working in a proper way, you just don't need to like give up on that thing. You really need to work at that time on your mental state, and you need to go ahead. Like, there will be a lot of questions that you really know, and that will be very very easy for you guys. And the other thing that is really important is money. Definitely, you need to have like really a good amount in your hand before you start all this exam. Because I will say, if somebody is like saying like this book or these notes and these things are important, you should go for that, and you should follow like those things, and you can grab that thing easily if you have money. And second thing is, you have to pay a huge amount of fee for all these tests and all these notes and all those things. So you have to have a good budget in your hands. So I'm talking about the expenses thing and the budget things. So for example, uh, yeah. So the next thing is, like, you have to get registration. So maybe these expenses, like, they are actually in my mind. So some of them, they may vary a little bit, but most of them, they will be same. But just giving you guys an idea, like, how you guys should, sorry, I'm just giving you an idea, like, how you guys should be working on all these things. So the registration thing is like $1,400, and in dollars, it's a huge amount as well. So you have to register yourself. And the main thing is, I will request everyone, if you want to do anything like in your life, you should plan, and you should make steps. And you are not gonna be like in a great going in a great way if you are like just on a first step and you're thinking about the last step, or if you are like just skipping the steps. Some people, they will say, like, they will now, after all this session, maybe I'm not saying like this session will gonna be so motivational, but they will go and they will buy like maybe Zuku or White Prep, and they will start the preparation of NAVLE. They don't know like how to register, they don't know the English things, they don't know the heights and those things, and they have to like spend their money. So that's not a way. Like, you have to like follow each step that is in this way. So if you are skipping those steps, you will not gonna make anything. So Like I will say, you have to go for the IELTS. After the registration things, I don't know, like there are a lot of people in our session. That's good to hear. But for us, like it's really important to spend some money or spend some time to like to take that thing really seriously. So I will say, first of all, do the registration thing, and then you should go for the IELTS exam. That will be really, you can take some kind of coaching or something like this, and you have to like have like 170 to $180 something, and then you should like you have to pay a fee for BCC exam, and then you have to pay something for Zuku because you want to prep that thing from Zuku, and then you have to pay a fee for Navli, that is $1,100, and then you have to definitely have some sources. So I'm just talking about the wet prep because you need like 500 for Zuku and wet prep both. So it will be like a total of 308 sorry 3800, like around about, I will say 4000 is fine with you, like or what I spend, maybe it will be a little bit more than this. So because I have like an habit, like if I will be grabbing some notes if someone is saying like, okay, so I have like that kind of distractions as well. So this is still the NAVLE, and afterwards, like regarding the CPE things, you don't have to worry about that. Most of them, they are like sponsored, and if they are not sponsored, you will be earning something in at that time, and you will be free, and then you can go for the CPE things. That's like 7,000. Like I will say it's 8,000 roundabout. So 8,000 should be a figure in your mind. So when people are talking about Navli, you should be like thinking like 4,000 separately and 8,000 separately, because when you are like just telling someone this thing like in a cumulative way, it will be like a huge amount, and they will give up on that thing. So I will say like the people here, they are like from different semesters. So next question is like when to start the prep. So basically, I will say like you can start your prep whenever you want, like whenever you want to excel in your life, and whenever you want, like I really want to learn something, and I really want to practice, because I have examples from Pakistan and from India as well, and from many, like I will say, countries. The people, they are getting retired uh, from their jobs and from those things, and then they are pursuing navly and those things because they really want to be in these things. So for students, it will be like a thing, like you can start your prep from first semester or second semester. Like in a way, in not in a way like you should arrange all the stuff and you like this thing. So you can really grab the concepts that are like given by your school teachers, or that are like in your course contents. You really need to work on your course contents, because course contents are really well designed, and they are really important in NAVLE or in any exam. I will say like they are like enough to have a basic concept, because I'm like when I see the Navy things, I will say wow. So it was a good thing, because we are like taught by our teachers in a great way. Like definitely they are providing us all those things, materials and all those things. So that's no issue, because our, like any school that is like can't force you with a stick. Like definitely you have to work by yourself. You need to get the course content and the recommended books and those things. So you need to grab that concept in a different way from different books. For example, if you're studying one single bacteria or some drugs, I'm just talking about the first semester, second semester things, or you need to study the physiology of human or anything, you should consult different books or different sources, so you can have like all those things, because the book is like just like knowledge, I will say, that is written by one or two or multiple people, and what they have experience and what they know about that thing, they will put that thing. That can't be complete thing, so you have to go for another source, and grab that thing and make some notes. So that will be a great habit. Like, don't rely on one source, you have to consult different sources. That will be like a great thing for you. For example, when you will be going for the BCSE, you should focus on this thing as well. I hope so. I will be trying to mention all the things, because sometime like even you are consulting with MSc or something like this, uh, you will be like lacking some clinical science that are really important, that are not like really like they are not like mentioned in that particular application or book or something like this, wherever you are trying to find that. And you can find those things in a like different other books. So that's really important to like see a broader picture of or anything that you are. So next is like when you are like really ready for this exam is really in the last year after your like eighth semester. You can start all those things, and you can go for a IELTS exam, you can go for BCSE, and then you can go for the NAVLE thing. So that will be your like a proper time to be landing in the cage, to have a like fighting stuff. The next thing is AVMA and CVMA. So basically, AVMA and CVMA are interconvertible bodies. You can like start with AVMA and you can convert into CVMA when you are done. Like, for example, if now I want to, uh, when I have done with ECFVG, CPE or something like this, you don't need to like really go for anything. You just need to like send them. They have some fees or something like this, and they need to fill out some forms, and you can like convert your scores and those things, and you can get your certificate from them. But when you are like in that journey, like you can, for example, if you are done with the AVMA NAVLE, and the other thing is you need to go for preliminary exam in CVMA. You have to go for, and then you can go for the CPE thing. So this is a kind of like not a tricky thing, but people are thinking. So it is acceptable everywhere whenever you're like, it doesn't matter like either you did your NAVLE from CVMA or AVMA really. So I will say I did from AVMA. So the procedure starting fees were definitely more. Now CVMA also has increased their fee. So like the fresh fee will be on their website. You can go for that. And for NAVLE things regarding the CPE, you have to go for the preliminary surgical assessment exam. That's a kind of exam you have to be in Canada, and afterwards you will be eligible for CPE if you are going through CVMA. So ECFVG, I was talking about ECFVG, that is Educational Commission for Foreign Veterinary Graduates, that are not really like in related to those accredited schools that are mentioned. Like when I was talking about that, those things like Australia, New Zealand, even they are also included in that. And for our countries like Pakistan, India, and any country that is not in that list, we need to go for ECFVG or NEB in case of if we are going for CVMA. So ECFVG has different steps. I will talk about those steps like briefly. First of all is registration. Next is you have to prove your English eligibility. That's IELTS. And the third thing is BCSE, and fourth thing is CPE. So most of the people, they are pursuing these steps in a way like they do the registration stuff, IELTS exam, BCSE, and afterwards they go for NAVLE because you will be eligible for NAVLE, and then they pursue their thing in ACFVG, that is CPE. So it's like everything is online. You have to like submit your application and all those things. Some of the documents, they are saying that you need to maybe send them via some kind of courier service or something like this, but otherwise the procedure is all online. So you have to fill the application, you will pay the fee by credit card. Then there will be some kind of documents that will be application, and those things you have to attach your degree, DMC, and some pictures. That will be a detailed thing that you need for this. And then you need to notarize that thing from your notary public, and then you have to send those documents like to USA, and on the available address that will be on that page, and they will confirm when they will receive those documents. So our second step, this was our first step to clear the documentation and those things. So when they will see like those things, so they will try to confirm those things from your institute as well. So I will say like you should give a heads up to your institute, either you like whoever is in your institute, because some of them, they are, I don't know, sleepy or something like this. They will not be answering their email. They just need to confirm via the email, like either this guy is your student, or he has or she has passed that exam and DVM exam and from you, and he was like okay. So that's the kind of thing. I'm like, they have some kind of form that they need to fill out. It will be just nothing, like no details at all. I will say just name and those things. So you should give a heads up to your institute, especially I will say to those institutes who don't have like many students, or they are not habitual, like people are going through all these exams, so they can be thinking that this is, I don't know, weird thing, so they will not be answering, so it will be getting a like a delay in your all those things. So next is like English language ability. You can either choose IELTS or TOEFL. It's your choice. IELTS is basically you need to go for academic IELTS, and there is scoring criteria. You need to have 6.5 in overall, like, and listening 6.5, 6 in writing, speaking is 7. So it's a good thing to learn English before like you really get into NAVLE, because I will say NAVLE language is really different from our like a daily language, because they are using a lot of different things that are like not really in our belt. And second thing is you will be getting in an environment, because like you are thinking that you will be practicing in Canada and USA, and you don't have a good ability to speak, and you can't write, so and you can't get grasp those things that these people are like. Definitely they have a lot of slangs. I'm working in California, and when I came here, it was really like, I will say, difficult thing for me to grasp their slangs, because they are not using that English that we are really studying. So it was really a thing that I need to work as well, and definitely everyone needs to work, whoever is coming from Indo-Pak. But it's not a big deal when you have environment which is really helping you out regarding the speaking stuff and listening stuff, because you need to really process all the things in a fast way. So study material regarding IELTS, you can go for either online coaching classes, or you can study it from books. It depends on you, like whoever. Like some people, they don't want to go to really some kind of institute, and some people, they have the mind that if I will not be able to go to the institute, I will not be able to focus, and I will not be able to get that time. So he or she needs to be in the coaching classes. So and then you need to send your IELTS result to ECFEG, and that will be a certain kind of fee. And you can't send by yourself. It will be from your IELTS center, and you will request them, and they will send you a form. You need to fill that form, and then they will send that result to ECFEG directly, and they will charge some kind of fee. And then ECFEG will confirm that we have received your IELTS school, and it will be updated on your dashboard as well on ECFEG. And next is TOEFL. I don't like have like good knowledge about TOEFL, but some people, they find it very easy, and they are going for all these things. So our next step will be BCSE. So BCSE is basically also a computer-based exam, and the fee is like $220 plus you need to pay for the prometric center. That will be around $50. It will be like $270 something, and you need to be like have a time of 4 hours in your mind when you are preparing for this, because you need to be like present in all these like hours, because if you will be sitting in exam and 4 hours, and you need to be like determined, motivated, and passionate, and those things, because this thing can be tricky as well. I like now I know like many people, they are really doing well in BCSE, but BCSE is a pretty I will say it can be tricky as well for many people. So the number of questions are 225, and you will pay your fee, and you will get your authorization to test thing, and then you will be going for in BCSE, basically an exam that is really covered every month. Like you can go in any month, but the main thing is if you will fail once, then you have to wait for 4 months. That's really an irritating thing. So I will say prepare for uh, like you can say like 1 or 2 months more rather than getting failed. So I will say 3 to 4 months they are enough, but it depends on a person, like how much knowledge they have, or like your base is really important, because this is like really a basic stuff. So you need to have a good base to go for the NAVLE. I will say spend more time in BCSE to grab more concepts, so the NAVLE thing will be very easy for you. Otherwise, if some people they are like just cramming some things and they're going for the BCSE and they're passing, and then they are feeling like a mountain in their like front, like as a NAVLE. So like you have to work harder in in BCSE, so you can be easily going through the NAVLE things. So BCSE, I will say like there is another important thing that you should have in your mind, that is like out of those 225 questions, 25 questions will not be counted. They can be those questions that you have corrected, or they can be those questions that they are like answered by you in a wrong way. So this is kind of lucky stuff as well. Like you can be lucky or you can be unlucky on that day, but overall like it's a good thing to know as well. But don't put this thing in your mind, so try to answer every question in a good way, and in a way like it will be counted. So there is no negative marking, so you have to attempt all the question. Maybe you can get some questions correct, if you are just like just marking them like without any knowledge even, or I will say like you can use some tricks, like for example I will prefer like in BCSE it really works like the 50-50 matter is like you have to configure out like out of four options, two options are really irrelevant. I always give an example to everyone that I felt. For example, they will be asking some question related to Lahore or related to some city, particular city. So the two options that will be really irrelevant from Lahore, they will be like talking about some thing related to Islamabad, or something like related to New Delhi, or something related to some other city. And the two options that will be really relevant, and you have to have a tie on those things. So it will increase your like probability that you will be able to like answer that question in a good way, and you will be really getting that thing. So you have to have a 50-50 either, like rather than like you are getting a chance of 25% to correct that question. So the numbering is, I will say it's, I didn't really understand, but it's variable. I will say so. It's variable from, it's like kind of range. They are using some kind of statistics things that are really not like I don't want to understand, and I didn't like bother myself to to try to get all these things. So I will say like in ECFED, maybe it's range from 300 to 900. So like you need to have 580 in your belt when you are uh, passing this exam. So the outline is BCSE outline is very important, because many people, they are trying to prepare BCSE, and they are asking like which things we have to focus on, and which thing we need to spend time like really in proper way, and we need to give more time. So I will say just look on this outline that is available on the website as well, and focus on these in really, because you don't need to focus on, for example, I'm just giving an example, camel, like more, rather than you're focusing on the dog and cat, because from those things you will be getting really like maybe one question or something like this. So some people, they are just trying to be cool, they're starting from that thing, like that is really not important. They're spending their many days, and they're wasting their day, because each day, each minute, I will say, that counts when you are preparing for this thing, because you have paid a lot of things, a lot of money, and you are like spending a lot of time, and those things you are like really sacrificing a lot of things. So you need to be very very focused on this thing. And I will say the anatomy thing is having some questions that are already 18 to 20. Pharmacology, uh, this thing is, I really like pharmacology, toxicology, and physiology. They are under the same belt. And the third thing is pathology, medicine, anesthesia, surgery, diagnostics. So you can see like the major question will be from medicine, but overall it's kind of distribution. So in BCSE, definitely you have to focus on all those things. But if you have a like very good like grip on medicine, that will be really helpful. And on basic things, if because anatomy is also very important, so you need to like really check this list before you are like preparing for those things. Like for example, animal welfare and preventive medicine. Animal welfare is a kind of thing that is really really important, because when you are practicing as well, you should have these things in your mind, because maybe they can sue you, or like you can tell this thing to your client to gain their like really confidence on you, and they will be really aware of all these welfare things. So that's really important thing when you are practicing as well. And also it's important when you are going for the exam thing as well. But definitely I'm gonna tell you like this is not more important than medicine and those things that we talk about. So don't like spend like many hours on this thing, rather than you are preparing for medicine and anatomy and physiology things. So study material is like you have different study material like Zuku, and different notes are available, MSc manual, and you can consult different kind of like books as well, I will say. So most of the people, they are using Zuku, and there are like thousands of notes that are available. Many people in Pakistan and in India, they are like preparing their notes from Zuku or from different study sources, and that are really cool to have, I will say. And that's really important. But the main thing is you should focus on one notes or one thing first. Like you should like grab all the concepts that are really important for that particular subject. So after that you can really like furnish that building really, and you can paint, I will say, like. And rather than you are getting a lot of notes, and then you are like really confused which notes are best, so you, this thing will really disturb your mind. So like I will say, the guy who really like in your good books, and you think that he did very well, so you can take those notes. There are a lot of notes that are available online. You will just go on Google simply, you will get a lot of notes from different people and different students. Basically they are uploaded by students, because students are also working in USA. They are like who are coming, and they are also making their notes, and then they are just uploading their, they want to have some money, because though nobody wants to give anything free of cost, because that's really like I will say decrease the worth of that thing. And Zuku is really, I will say, sufficient if you like really study that thing really in a good way. So Suku has like also different options that they give you, like 6 months, 3 months, or 45 days. But and also there is premium and standard, so you can go for standard things, I will say. But definitely if you have some more money, it's like just a few dollars that are like variable, so you should go for premium things in every field of yours, like that is related to your study things, I will say. Spend more money, that will really glorify your path. So the third step is, I will say that is surgical experience documentation, that you need to just, there are some forms that you need to just fill, that can be filled by one of your juniors or your classmates or your seniors who have a clinic or something like this, and you can just write, you can just write all the stuff and get his signature, and tell him write your this RVMP or registered whatever, like in India and those countries they are like different. So you can just write those numbers, those things, and then you can just ask them to send from their email to ECFPG. So they will gonna accept that. So that form look like this. It's like online form, and you need to just fill out. And yeah.
ऐसे बनाओ, ऐसे हेडिंग दे के और एक स्लाइड ओरिजिनल डेटा को एक्सैजरेट ना करो जितनी स्लाइड में आ रखी है। अपनी तो
So,
यही तो ला।
मैंने अपने माइक म्यूट कर रहे सारे।
so next thing is CPE, and that's clinical proficiency exam, that has different sections: anesthesia, equine practice, food animal practice, necropsy, radiographic positioning, small animal medicine, and surgery. So it has like different domains, so you need to like pass all those things. That will be really a clinically relevant thing. You will have to be in USA, and then you can get through all the things. There are different institutes who are teaching you all the things, like how you can like grab some concepts related to anesthesia and those things that are really important, because you need to get all the things to pass these domains, because they are really important, and you have spent a lot of money, like $8,000. So now we will gonna be like talking about the NAVLE things, like because you have done with BCSC and then you skip the CPE thing, and then you are going for the NAVLE. So NAVLE you have there is a International Council of Veterinary Assessment, ICVA, that is basically conducting NAVLE for both CVM and AVMA. So you just need to coordinate with your NEB or ECFVG, and then you have to just send your scores to ICVA, so you can be able to sit in the NAVLE exam. So the process is, you will go on just on the website, and then you will have to pay the fee for the NAVLE things, and then you have to send your score from ECFVG to here in ICVA, and they will confirm you like via the emails, like we got all the stuff, and then you will be able to select your dates and all those things. So for NAVLE, I will say it's an exam of 360 MCQs, and there are different sections. Like there are 6 sections. Each section has 60 questions, and for 60 questions, you have like, I will say, uh, 65 minutes, and out of all these 360 questions, 60 questions will not be scored. So there is a kind of I will say the breakdown, like how we are gonna say it. So section one, like it will be like, you can like divide different your breaks in different sections. So I will say it will be handy if you will take a break after every 2 sections, or if you have very bad sections, so then you can take a break for 5 minutes or something like this, and then you can come back in a refresh phase. So you can be only in that building. You cannot go to revise your notes or something like this. You need to be you can have some snacks or something like this, and then you can come back. So overall, the whole time that will be like that thing in your mind, that will be like 7.5 or 8 hours, that's really required, because you need to be earlier, like at the test section station as well. So passing rate and passing score, they are like, I will say, they are some kind of variable thing as well. So overall, like I will say, if you are able to answer correctly the questions like that are 60 to 70%, that will be nice. Like it will be like a good thing, and you will be able to pass that exam easily, I will say. So like they are again applying some kind of statistics things, and they're like getting some kind of average or something like this, that I really don't understand. Like they are giving an like statistics curve, and in that, like for example, if people are like, you are getting for example 425 marks, that will be kind of thing that is considered as like passing score. So the prep source, there are like again two big players for NAVLE, that is Zuku and Wet Prep. So for I will say for NAVLE, you should have like at least 6 months in your like plan, that you should be gonna for all those things. Like you can go through Zuku and Web Prep. It's your choice, because here everyone has their own choice, and both of them, they basically cover the ICVA given list, because ICVA given list is most important thing that you need to cover. And like Zuko and Web Prep, they cover like 98, 99% of that list. Maybe you can find some of the things that are not covered here. Maybe you don't need to even do all those things, or you can consult some kind of different sources that I will talk about later for those things really. And a lot of people, they are actually they are preparing for NAVLE, and they are talking about the past papers, and a lot of people, they are selling those papers. So it's illegal stuff, and it's really not that important. It's not like that kind of thing. You cannot get that thing. ICVA is basically offering you the self-assessment tests. You can pay just $50 and you can get those tests, and they are basically actual NAVLE questions that are from previous exams. So it's not a big deal. Like you can't get those things, and like you can go on the website and just pay and just get that thing, and it will be very handy ready while you are preparing. I will say when you are really ready, or when you think that you are ready, so you should go for these tests, and then you can assess yourself. And that can be giving you two kind of things. Like maybe it can give you a confidence. So don't be overconfident. Like some people, I got some messages, hey, I did my self assessment, it was like really, we use in our language halwa type term, like it was really nothing like for me. So I will say, okay, like you should study more as well. And secondly, some people, they are getting nothing out of that. So like they are thinking like we are failed and this thing. So yeah, they also need to work on their things as well. So either of like this thing like that happens, it take it just as an assessment test, and just go on your journey. So NAVLE questions are basically asked from different species. So there is like species breakdown in this thing. So there will be canine, feline, equine, bovine, porcine. In the same way, all the species they will be. So they now you can get idea like which species I need to focus more. It's a kind of thing that you can assess from here, rather than you are asking someone. Like you can go on the ICB website and you will find a lot of things like this. So they will be dividing like different like questions in different species. So from this you can assess like there are four big things that you need to focus on. One is canine, feline, equine, and bovine. So if you are covering these things, you will be covering like more than like around 50% you will be able to cover, and then you can focus on porcine and the other small animals, bovine, caprine, and all those things. But my main concern was like, for example, if you can see in this slide, uh, like camels, for example, it's just 1%, and non-species specific questions and public health related, they are just nothing like 1%. So people are getting more worried about those things rather than they should be worried about canine and feline, equine, bovine things. So that's really like really important thing to understand. Like you should focus on these things which are like uh, giving you more scores rather than you're focusing on the other things. And don't just go and start from camel and poultry and those things just to like add numbers in your mind or somewhere, like, hey, I did all these species and now I will be starting from canine and felines. So this will not be really working. Okay, so study resources, as we talk about all this, you can, I will talk about the vet prep because I find that here people are really they are into vet prep. As a student, they get vet prep and they start preparation from 8th semester really, because they have just NAVLE and we have to do IELTS, BCSE, and NAVLE. So they all have like their schools are like getting some kind of partnership with vet prep, so they are giving them vet prep on like less, I will say, cost that is mentioned here. So that's the kind of thing that these guys are working, and they are also using vet prep to pass their different exams as well. So now I will be talking about some like things. For example, you need to be very very speedy uh, in your question answering things, like when you will be reading all the question. So it will be like six or five or like liner question. It will not be a thing like they will be asking you one liner. It will be very rare, so you need to be very fast, very sharp with your mind. This can come only with your practice. Like you have to practice a lot and this thing will be very easy for you. uh, so I will say there is nothing like you should like think that, oh, I should know everything in the world related to animals or related to veterinary. It's really like important thing is to understand the question, because in that question maybe there will be a lot of things that are really irrelevant. You have to like focus on the things that are really really important. So just like make your eye as a radar and focus on the things that are really important and that are really important to answer that question. That's it. You have to answer, and then like just uh, try to come out of that question, either it's wrong or either it's right, because you have to focus on the next one. Like this is Dr. Zuku's things that I posted here. That's like passing rate and those things. So I will say I just posted this like slide because people are like when they're starting the NAVLE prep, they're just thinking about how I will gonna pass and what is the passing score and all those things. So it's really not important. Like you need to work hard and don't try to find some escapes and something like this, and it's not going to happen like you will woke up and you have passed the NAVLE thing. You have to really work on all these things and then you're going to pass the exam. um, Best way will be, as I have told you already, like you can like grab all the things like concepts and those things and try to uh, study smarter. Don't, this is also an important question that is asked by people, like how did they are asking me one just this question: how long you have been studying? Like 5 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, what? So it's really not important. I will say the quality is important than the quantity, I will say. Because if you are studying focused way, I will say like you can uh, this is another funny question that is asked by one of our mates, so I will answer it later. I will say the quantity is important, sorry, quality is important. Like you have to be focused for 4 hours, and that's more important than you are like just hanging around for 12 hours and doing like nothing, and you are just grabbing 2 pages or something like this, and you didn't done anything. So that will really uh, important for your effectiveness as well. uh, okay, so you need to be like you need to compete with yourself. For example, I always mention that, for example, you are doing a dog thing like endo, or like musculoskeletal things and cardiology things. For example, in your first attempt or in your first revision, you did that thing in uh, 3 days, 6 days, for example. In the next attempt, you should be focusing on the thing that I should reduce my time. For example, if it was 3 days, you need to come on 2 days. So in this way, you, because revision is really important. And the people who are thinking like I will be gonna get all these concepts in a one way, like on a one stroke, that's nothing. You need maybe like if you are just reading that question once, and the second time you will read that question, you will get like a different maybe thing that you can understand from that question, and they will be giving you some kind of information, because they are actually giving you information through those questions. So you need to grasp all that information. So you can make your notes as well, uh, like in a different way. I usually make my notes in like in a very weird way. Like I usually write some phrases, or I draw some pictures on my notes. I make them very ugly really. So that really gives me another kind of satisfaction, and I can really understand those things. So so it's your own choice. The new people, I will say, from the schools, I will say, I'm not talking about the very new people, like it's the new generation, the people who are coming from schools now. They really like to study something like online and from laptops and those things. And I really am not into it. I really always want to print something, and I really want to make them really ugly and to study and to make them try that kind of thing. So that's your own choice. Uh, for example, yeah. Um, I will say like this is another important thing that you need to focus on. Like everything that is in your notes or that is in the vet prep, it's really not important. So firstly, you need to study that thing in a really important way. Like, oh, it's really important. It's gonna be in my exam. Okay, so with second repetition, if you have already grasped that concept or that thing like already, you should highlight it in a different way rather than you're highlighting it like you're going to revise it again and again and again. In that way, I will say you're gonna miss the other things that are really important. So you need to be very very smarter in this thing, because our mind is already trained in a way like it wants the easy or layered stuff, that you already know this thing, okay, go through again. So no, you need to grab some new things that are really relevant to that even really even you can find in those questions, and you're not really putting an radar or your eye on that thing. So that's really important. And I will say this is also important. I have like a picture of one thing here. I will say the pictorial memory is really, really important. If you have pictures in your mind, and that's really important in your exam as well, in BCSE and NAVLE both, because they will gonna give you an like picture. If you don't know like, and there will be some videos as well. If you don't know like how a horse, uh, like a horse is lame from the front like limb, so how he looks like. And the second thing is if there is a dog who has some kind of nasal discharge, how it looks like, if there is bleeding. And secondly, I will say there is some kind of cutaneous lesions, and there is something wrong with his ear, and there is something wrong with his nervous system, how he's gonna tilt his head, so how he's dropping his ear. So maybe you are just sometimes if you don't haven't seen that dog or haven't seen the cats and those things, so you can be like really confusing the normal stuff, even because normally they can behave and you can say, hey, this is like really weird to me. So radiographs are also really important, and along with the pictures that I have told you, you can get those pictures from different your vet friends, and you from Google, and from your different books and manuals and those things. That really doesn't matter. You need to know like how a horse or how horse is looking when he is neuro. If he's not standing square, how what does it means really? If a dog has like a cutaneous form of canine distemper, how it looks like really. So you need to know those things, and those things really help you. For example, if you're not able to understand the question, and if you don't have time, sometimes in your exam prep and even in your actual exam, you can just assess that thing with your picture, and you can answer and you can go. So that will be very handy for you. uh, so second thing is you can make some maps, I will say, and you can make some kind of your own smart notes. You can like make some kind of thing that this thing I will say mnemonics, or you can make, like I will say, last day I was discussing with my friends here. We have a case of actually like urolith here in a horse. And I was discussing with them like which radiograph, which uroliths we can't see on the radiograph, because we performed the radiographs, and then we did ultrasound because we were not sure. So I was thinking like why we are like gonna like use ultrasound. So and why we are not gonna focus only on our radiographs. So there are some like uroliths that are not visible on your uh, radiographs. So they are some kind of radiolucent, so you can't see. So for example, someone answered as well. So basically they are like, there are some phrases in vet prep and in Zuku, and you can create your own. That was like so this is you can't see. So this was like urate and cysteine and those two words. So they are really important to be in these kind of things. And secondly, there was something related to the nerves. Even I am using, and my mates who are from USA, they are also using those phrases that they grasp from their school, or they grasp from NAVLE preparation and those things in their practice as well, because this is really handy thing. So there are different books and study resources that are like really important. You can go through all the things we already talk about. um, so there are different books. There are millions of books, I will say. I already told you. Like you can get all the things, but the main thing is you need to study. If you have, like for example, if you have like command on canine distemper, either you gonna study it from million books, it will be same. Like maybe you will get from one or few variable signs or few variable things, but you have a great base on canine distemper, or you have a great base on your coccidiomycosis. So this is really important. And another thing that I really want to mention to our people, because these guys, they are thinking like in a very different way. For example, I will give you guys an example, like regarding my clinic, because we receive a horse. So they will take two things really seriously. One thing is their diet, and second thing is from where they are coming actually. Either they have a trip to Arizona, or either they have a trip to somewhere. That is really important, because those like Arizona things, they are really famous for fungus infections. So these things we need to understand, and we need to think about these things when we are reading the questions as well, because these are really important things. For example, if a horse is on alfalfa diet, we are like really suspecting that he will be having some kind of enterolith. So, and any horse that is coming with alfalfa diet and he is colicking, we will go for the radiographs. We didn't care like whatever will be the reason, like either there will be something in the radiograph or not, because we will be suspecting. And we have like uh, removed last day, like around, it was really 6 pounds, like it was around 3 kg big enterolith, and there was smaller as well. And that was on our own assessment that we got the history, like this horse is colicky and he's on alfalfa diet, and this is blah blah blah, and those things. And we just took off the radiograph and we found that. That's it. So these things really important. You can write all these things on your walls, on your notice board, or wherever you want, and just try to grab those things. Like these are really really important, I will say. And CVMA registration is like, I will say it's a little bit different, but it's a kind of thing like when you will be in it, you can easily grab. You can go on their website and you can get all the things, and the documentation is little bit different. So all the details, they are really like mentioned there, so you just need to follow all the details. Like I will say, don't get like again distracted, just read that thoroughly and follow all the things. Now like CVMA has increased a little bit of their fees, and those things you should read that before you are like you really got into it. And there is like one drawback related to CVMA is their exam, like that is an extra exam, that is PSA, because many people they are getting failed in PSA as well. So you have to be very like careful while you are deciding that you are gonna for CVMA or AVMA. So but again, and then if you are dedicated and you are like really into it, like you want to go for the exam and those things, so you will really make it. Like um, I will say like no, nothing can stop you from all this. So this was all about the NAVLE and those things, and hope so I have covered all the concepts and all the things that were mentioned in the um, by Fahad as well. But now I will love to interact with you guys, and I will love to answer your queries, and hope so. Uh, you guys already like have those things that I have told you in this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for all the information. It was really helpful. Even I'm also an aspirant for the BCSC, and it's really you as you said in the start that the mentorship and the you can say the motivation is very necessary for such a long journey. Hopefully, everyone has learned something today, and I'm very thankful to you for all the you have like completed everything from the start and till now the end, from the procedures, the finance, the study, the mentorship, the what has to be focused and what hasn't, what shouldn't. So uh, I would like to also thank Sir Hamad, who is our ambassador, and due to him, we all students are gathered under this one platform. So I would like that if he can say something, and then we'll move towards the question answer session. Thank you.
Thank you, Fahad, and I'm really grateful to Dr. Usman Khalid for giving the audience his precious time and a wonderful presentation, very well delivered, and I'm sure that the audience will have already answers to their questions in their mind, which Dr. Usman has given his wonderful presentation. Congratulations, Dr. Usman, and really good luck for you always. You are a beacon for the youngsters and pride for us. Thank you very much again. And thank you, Dr. Fahad, and your team for arranging this wonderful webinar. And I'm sure that many of the participants will pass the NAVLE, inshallah, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Inshallah. There are some.
Okay, so
Yes, Maham, over to you. Thank you.
I think we can start the question answer session now. There are some questions inside the chat box. I think I'll ask those first. Okay, Dr. Usman, one question we have gotten a few times is about income. After spending so much money and hard work, what do you think, what would you say is how much could you earn from this and how much would this increase income inside of Pakistan?
Uh, I was really laughing. Sorry. The thing is, I haven't gone for anything like in my life, really for money, and I will always like really say and uh, like sorry, I was forgetting about Sir Hamad. Sir Hamad is like my mentor, and I really have a huge respect for him, and I'm really thankful and for his words. Like really, they make my day, and really they are very important for me because I drive my motivation from him and from mentors and teachers like him. So thank you so much, sir. uh, let's come to the point. Actually, the income thing is important in terms like you should take it in a positive way. Like definitely you will be earning I will say 80,000 to 120 something or 130. It will depend on your definitely your skills and also your institute in which you are working. So I'm talking about annual things because here we got salaries like in annual terms. So it will be variable because after NAVLE, like you need to go for the CPE thing. So like they will be sponsoring you for that, and you will be preparing, and they will be having some kind of mentors like for you to guide you because like you will not be able to practice here until and unless you have that kind of skills that they really want, because they have a different kind of really. Because I have been in practice from I'm not like saying that I have been practicing many years, but it's really been a while since I am in practice. But when I came here, they really told me you need to learn like the way like we are doing the things. So this is really important as well. So income thing I really mentioned that it will be like 80,000 to 1 lakh 20 something. So it will be that kind of digit, and it will be variable, and you can definitely uh, like argue with them when you will be in the interviews, and when you will be having your like confidence and you have skills, you can really like really like you can ask them like I am like that caliber guy, and you are just offering me this thing. So and they are also doing their job, because HR guys they really they can easily assess a person like from his talk and from his psycho things. I don't know, like they are using a lot of things that I have like experienced. So they will offer you according to that thing. I will say be satisfied with your mind. You will gonna earn a lot of money. And regarding your like preference when you will be in this thing, because not gonna be like everything at all. You can be like in mixed animal practice, but you will be like small animal or equines or something like this. And then you will be in that particular species, you will be in a different phase. For example, you will be in anesthesia, or you will be in like as an ambulatory, or you will be working as a surgeon or something like this, or you want to go for the specialization things that will be increasing like your salaries and all those things in a great way. And like regarding the question, I didn't really understand like why you want to do that thing if you want to be in Pakistan, because this exam or this licensing exam is only for USA and Canada. So you need to understand the importance of this exam, that if you want to really move to US and Canada, you should do that. Otherwise, if you want to move towards Middle Eastern country, they have their own test, because I have been gone through those tests. I have passed my test in Qatar, and I have passed in Saudi Arabia. So those tests, they are really different. So that are required to be there. So when you will be in USA and Canada, these tests are really important. And if you want to be in Pakistan, I think PVMC, RVMP is enough to work. So that's kind of thing. Like you will be really thinking like this thing really that increase your worth. But I will not say like if I'm working in Pakistan and I'm assuming that with NAVLE I will be getting a lot of money. It's okay if someone is offering me, like that's okay, that's fine. So that's his like, I will say he's obliging me in this thing.
All right, thank you, sir. Another similar question to this is for someone who may be financially struggling and they maybe don't have enough money to make this payment or appear inside the exam, is there anything that they can do? What would your advice be to someone who is having issues with filling expenses to give the exam?
Oh, so actually there is no, like I will say, nothing, nobody is existing like as a whole, like who is supporting financially in this way. But I will say like if someone is really into, right, so they should go for some alternative sources. They can have some jobs or something, and then they can have some savings, and it's really like in chunks. If I'm talking about till Navli, like for example 4,000, it really doesn't mean like you should have 4,000 in your pocket and then you should go. It's really in chunks. So you should be paying in chunks, so don't worry about that. And regarding the finance, that's really like it's really matter, because I will say if you are paying this from your own pocket rather than you're getting from your parents, it will be like great, because if you will getting fail, you will be not blamed in that way. And you will be feeling satisfied, okay, I have wasted my money for my own self. And secondly, nobody, if parents they can afford this thing really, they will be never telling you no on anything. Like if you will be able to tell them about all the stuff that you will be getting, and you can like tell them like I am gonna work in Canada or USA or somewhere like this, so they will be really yeah, like really, rather than like I will say people are going for the MPhil and PhDs, and they are spending a lot of money, and they're just like I will say, because with those things you can if you will be here you can't work like as a vet. So you are spending for example 20 or 25 or 30 lakhs something. I'm talking about Pakistani things, because Indians they have like half of this thing. uh, it's really currency value thing. So rather than spending that money, you can focus on your navly things and get that thing under your belt, and then you can come here, and that will be really an important thing. You can come here, you can work. Yeah, hope so. Like I will be that answer will be satisfied, but I'm not really like sure what really they want to ask me like regarding the financial stuff.
Yes, yes, that's perfect, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, another common question we're getting is for a student who is planning on starting preparation for the NAVLE. Should they start in the eighth, ninth semester, or do you think it would be better if they started preparation after graduation? And once they do start preparation, is vet prep enough?
Oh, so I think if somebody is in the session, he already got or she already got the answer, because this was my starting stuff. Like I have started with this thing, how like when we should start all the stuff, but still I will repeat. The thing is, when, like, I will say, like, eighth semester is fourth year, so you will be like eligible at that time. You can start from sixth or seventh onwards, I will say, the preps things. And because we need to be mentally prepared as well, so when you are like really mentally prepared and you can go for all the things, it needs maybe like 2 3 months to plan all the things, even for before the execution stuff. uh, so if you want to go for NAVLE, it's really, I will say, don't waste your time and start from the eighth semester rather than waiting for your graduation, because it doesn't make any kind of difference. But if you are already graduated, it doesn't like that kind of, because after graduation, if you will be spending some time, like maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year in field or somewhere like this, it will be your knowledge will be getting faded, and you will be like, I'm not saying that you will be not able to like crack this exam. It will be little bit difficult for you because you are out of studies and those things, so you have to do all the things in a like in a proper channel or proper way, like where you're already in your school and you are already having a habit of studying, like for your exams and those things, so it will be easy for you at that time to do it. And secondly, the vet prep thing and those things I already have mentioned, like it's really like, okay, it's, if you have wet prep, that's fine, you can do it. But wet prep also provides you a huge like things, like really they are like also even telling you need to consult some books or something like this. But that's like, I will say, that's kind of a basic like infrastructure or something like this for a building. And afterwards you need to furnish, or you need to put something in your building or somewhere to make it like a polished or make it beautiful. Maybe you need to consult with course, or maybe you need to consult with MSc, or maybe you need to consult with some other sources. But once you are done with the web prep and those things, like really, if you are done, I will say you can like eat all the notes that are in the that are in the market, really. But if once like you have done, really, and that thing really happens to me and many of my friends when they are doing with them, when they were doing all these preparations. Because once you are done, then you can have all those notes and you can like go through them maybe in couple of days.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question we have gotten is, what is the value of passing the BCSE or NAVLE in Arabic countries, the Middle East, UAE or Qatar? How would your value increase in those countries?
Oh.
And is it at all necessary?
Like, okay, so NAVLE is North American like exam. Okay, so it's an exam, or it's a license to be practicing in Canada and USA. It's had nothing to do with the Middle Eastern and countries and any countries. Okay, if you have that, so people are obliging if like you have that exam, uh, like in I will say UAE and in some of these countries, they are saying, "Oh wow, this guy has an NAVLE. It means he has a good knowledge and he has a good skills." So maybe they will be paying you more. And you can spend some time there before you really get into Canada or USA, because your ultimate goal will be here. But it takes a lot of time to be here, because the visa things and those things, they take a lot of time. People have to wait for time. And definitely this thing depends on your luck as well, because maybe you will get all these things done by a few months, and maybe it will take some, maybe 1 year or maybe more than that time. So you need to be focused. And I will say, like, it really, if you are asking about those things, so it matters. But your goal shouldn't be like that, I'm gonna do this and then I will be working. I mean, no ways. If you want to go for Middle Eastern country, go now and work there, because they have their own exam and you can pass and you can be getting more salaries and more things. Like like rather than you're spending your money on NAVLE, you should spend that money on your skills. You can get some kind of training stuff like from different online or offline sources, and that will be increasing your worth as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question we have gotten is, if someone couldn't pass the CPE within 7 years of registration, what would be the way forward?
uh, this is really a tricky question. um, like I will say, most of the people who are really, they want to pass this exam. It's really a kind of exam that you can fail easily in the first or second or something attempts, because but because this is very very like a thing that you need to learn how to do a stuff in a proper way and in an American or Canadian way, I will say, because some of the technicalities that you will see that, okay, this is, I have learned to be on this side of table, and I have learned anesthesia in this way. I have learned that this thing in this way, but these guys, they are doing that thing in a different way, and they have learned those things in a different way, and they will be judging you in a different way. So that can variable. But because many of my friends, they got failed in equines maybe, and some of them they got failed in dog things, so that really matters. But overall, I will say, when you are doing this exam, they have a lot of relaxation as well for regarding the domains. For example, you have salmon, so if you are making through the ford, you will be able to do all these four done, and then you can go for the next three, so it will be easy for you to go through all the things. And like you should make it, and if you are not able to make, like, after all this time, it means veterinary is not for you. Maybe you are in a wrong place, because you need to get some kind of training from somewhere, or you need to really spend some time with good vets.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question we have for you is, what is the requirements for the IELTS expiry date in respect to timeline of step 1 and step 2?
Okay, so this is 2 years, just like from the date that you have given the exam, or passed the exam, it is valid for 2 years. So, for example, you can register you for ECFVG or NEB within the 2 years period. But once you are done with the registration thing, it doesn't matter like it how much time it has gone through. And for ECFVG and for NEB registration, they have till you have done with the CPE and those things, they have a certain fee. Like each year, you need to pay that fee to keep yourself in that like registered phase, or not in a dormant phase.
Okay, and sir, once we've given the NAVLE in the CVMA, how easy is it? How can it be transferred to AVMA?
It's not a big deal. You can, because I told you already, NAVLE is not conducted by CVMA or AVMA. It's conducted by ICVA. So ICVA can be interconvertible to either of these. So it's just like a formal thing. Like you need to write to CVMA, like I wanna convert my all the stuff, and they will be sending you a detailed stuff how you can, and what kind of things they require from you, and you can easily convert. It's nothing like, you don't need to worry about those things even. Just do it, and then it's fine.
Okay, and when it comes to grades, does the CGPA matter in the NAVLE exam, for the NAVLE exam?
Okay, so you need to have a pass thing on your degree. That's enough. The second thing is that really people don't understand, if somebody is getting in grades or somebody is getting a good CGPA, it means I have been criticized by many of my mates till now, like because I like I don't know, like fortunately, unfortunately, I got some good grades, and like I will say, like if somebody is getting some good grades or CGPA, it means like he really worked for that, and it means that he had that kind of skills. So it will be definitely easy to grab the concepts rather than a guy who is getting just passed, or he's getting just 2.5 or 2.6 CGPA. So rather than a guy like, as comparison to, I will say 3.4 or 3.7 or 3.9, whatever the CGPA is, either right, it's really he worked for that thing. So it really, like I will say, matters in that terms, but really they don't care about your grades when you are sending them your results. They just need to like see that you are passed.
Okay, and during undergrad, is writing research articles helpful for the NAVLE?
No, this is nothing to do with NAVLE. This is related to MPhil, PhD, and research things.
And what would you suggest doing first, MPhil or NAVLE? Which one would you think is better?
This is your own decision. You should think about, like, you wanna be a practice, or you wanna be a scientist, or you wanna be like going for those things. So it's your own decision, because practice and research is really, really like different things. So you need to decide it by yourself. Like it is your personality. Like you love to work with animals, or you love to work with animals who are in labs. So then you wanna really do that kind of things, I will say. So you have to decide it by yourself. um, for me, definitely I always want to be a practitioner, so that's why I pursued NAVLE.
Okay, and there are many people who have passed the NAVLE and aren't able to get jobs in the USA or Canada. So what about that? What are some disadvantages? Like, what would your advice be to them?
Okay. uh, like most of the people, I will say, they're not telling you. Actually, they are always in a process. They maybe they have got the jobs, and there is some procedure for visa and those things. So they are like, people are really curious about their lives. I don't know why, but the thing is, they are already like working on their things. If this question is really from that kind of guy who has really passed, okay, so I will say, like, you need to work on your recruitment things. You need to touch more clinics. You need to work with more recruiters. I will say, don't get disappointed. Your hard work will never be like, I will say, it's nothing like you have worked for something, and you will say it's not valuable, or it's not that kind of thing. This is our belief as well, and this will really work for you. And maybe it can be delayed for a bit of time, and you will be getting a big reward in that time. Like I bet you guys, like for example, if you are like in connection with one or two clinics, and they are not offering you like quick process and those things, maybe meanwhile that delay really brings something big for you, and you will be getting some offer from another clinic that you already emailed or something like this, and they will be offering you more money or more resources, or that's a big clinic than that clinic, because big means that they have more resources, more beds, more like diplomats and that kind of thing. So that really important. So I will say, like, you should touch more recruiters, and you should be like you should work on these things with more dedication. Maybe you need to work on your emails itself as well, because as a vet student, or as medicos, we don't know how to write emails. Even we don't know how to make our CVs and those things. So we really need to make our CVs in a proper way. We can get some like some people who are really really they are into it, and we can pay them to make some good CVs for us. So that will be great, and that will really work for us, because the CVs that you are using in Pakistan or in India or somewhere like this, and you are using in Middle Eastern countries, they are not gonna work here in USA, Canada, because they have different kind of things. So you need to really consult someone, and there are a lot of consultants regarding CVs and regarding your career things as well. You will find a lot of people on LinkedIn and these applications and like online, and you can find them, and you can consult them regarding your like career things in Canada and USA.
Okay.
I will say,
Sir, and
be more like patient, I will say, and mm, try to like check out your own things, like you are working in a great way, or you are just getting uh, distracted from something, or you are not uh, like you are not showing yourself like that kind of caliber thing, that you that will be really valuable for your clinic, because nobody wants to hire a goof really, because they want to hire someone who is really skillful, and not, I will say, skillful, who is really passionate, because they will teach you everything. That's nothing that they can teach you anything, that even I will start with the injection things and with the basic stuff, with anatomy things they can teach you. But if you're not passionate and if you don't have that kind of guts in you, nobody will gonna hire you. You have to sell yourself in interviews.
thank you, sir. And what if you have cleared the BCSE, NAVLE, and eventually even the CPE? How tough is the visa process? How tough is the visa process? Like sometimes getting a visa can be very difficult.
uh, okay, so the thing is, regarding the visa things, it's really uh, like variable thing. I will say, because I applied for visa and those things from a different country where I wasn't. But I will say, if you got approval and from the institute that you are really want to go, uh, that institute really can work wonder for you, because if they want you like to be there with like in few months, they can make you. But it really, I will say, you should focus on your institute. If that institute is particularly focused on your visa things, that can really help you in to make all the things in a like speedy way. But otherwise, if the visa definitely takes some time, then you have to be patient in those things. And maybe you can, for example, if you are pursuing for something in Canada, you can pursue at the same time. Maybe for USA, maybe you can get this thing earlier. So that's on you, like you have multiple options. You Nobody can restrict you like in that way. But overall, it's really a matter of time. You have to be passionate to be like going through all that phase as well, because in that phase, people will be asking you a lot of things, and your maybe your homies will be asking you a lot of questions. But from inside, you should like understand that this hard work will not gonna in vain, because you have done it and it will give you definitely a reward.
Okay, I think we're just going to move to the last one, two questions. I believe we have gone through almost all. We have gone through all of them. One question here for you is, sir, can we practice individually just after passing the NAVLE in European countries as a doctor or as an assistant?
Okay, so actually this question is wrong, because European countries, they need their own licensing exam. If you want to go for UK or something, they have their own exam. So Europe is like really different. Yes, they can accept this licensing exam. Like if you are done with CPE, then they can accept even European countries and even Australia and those guys. They are also accepting. Some of them, like you will find some guys there who have their clinics and they can hire you, but they have their own tests. So you need to pass those exams if you're working, if you want to work in Europe. For here, like if I will say, you need huge money as well, because here everything is very very expensive really. But if we are talking about legal stuff, you need to have CPE. So with CPE you will have a license, and with license you can, yeah, like practice by your own self. You can work as an ambulatory, but again you need to learn the basic stuff here. I will say don't like go in a rush, because here people are aware of everything. So if you will make any trouble, that can be trouble for your career. So that will be directly on you. So I will say, like, it's legal to work, but you need to get accustomed with the environment and those things. If you are once you are done with that, you can easily go and you can work. That's not a big deal. But with NAVLE, no, it's a big no. With NAVLE, no, but with CPE, yes.
All right, thank you. And I think we're going to end with one last question. Sir, is it possible that the passing criteria for NAVLE may change in the coming years?
They can change definitely, but I don't think so. They have some plans to change. They have created some more windows to facilitate the people, because number of candidate, I think they have increased, or uh, that's what they thought. So they are facilitating people. uh, I will say, like, they don't want to create more obstacles, but they will definitely, maybe they can increase the knowledge is basically in, like I will say, uh, increasing day by day. So the questions and those things, they will be definitely, for each year they are getting a little bit tough in a way for the people who have done already, because knowledge is getting updated. So I don't have that kind of eye that I will be really thinking like they will be creating some modifications, but definitely they can. And I don't, I'm not and that kind of authority who really can like see like what they're gonna do. This is up to them, like I will say. So I'm blank on this, sorry.
Thank you so much, sir. Today's session was truly enlightening, and I believe everyone here learned a lot. Thank you so much for your time. And the session has gone on for 2 hours. So I'm gonna ask everyone to please share your reviews in the WhatsApp group. And thank you, sir, for your time. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much, Fahad, and thank you so much, Sir Hamad, and thank you so much, Maham, and everyone. Really, it was a great, really session, and uh, it wasn't like that session really. Like it was a kind of interaction with you guys, and I really felt like great to speak with you guys and with this kind of audience who are really like interested, because when you are like having some people who really wants to listen you, and especially with the presence of Sir Hamad, it's been an honor for me, like really, to speak in front of him. I was really mumbling a lot maybe because he's my teacher, he's my mentor. So really, I always like teach these guys as well here in USA, because we have a lot of values that are really like in our culture. So like regarding that, I am really not afraid of Sir Hamad, but it's like due to respect. That's what really important. And I have a huge respect for him. So thank you so much, everyone, and hope so you have got, you have like got all the things that you want. And still, if you want to ask any questions or anything, you can really ask me. But please, like, don't say just salam alaikum. Just like make some message and tell me, because we have a huge time difference. It's been like 13 hours time difference, so maybe I will not be able to answer you on time. And don't consider me like rude or something. I always want to help people who really wants to be in. uh, and Thank you so much, Vet Connect, definitely, who have organized all this stuff, and I'm really happy to see that, like, somebody has tried to create a kind of a platform where they can like uh, like gather all the people around the world, even around Pakistan. So it's great to hear, and thank you so much, whoever. Like, I think Fahad is the founder, so I will say, like, thank you so much for this effort, really, and it's gonna be great, and it's a great idea. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Assalam.
Allah Hafiz, everyone. Thank you for joining.
आप सब अब मीटिंग लीव कर सकते हैं.